I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be very transparent. I have been a victim of this mentality as well. I have been a victim of this mentality as well. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. I have been a victim of this mentality as well. We are living in a culture right now that is pushing an agenda, and I think that it's detrimental. And I also understand the other side of this, so I'm going to speak to that as well. But we're pushing a single agenda, a single agenda. And y'all forgive me for the way, I'll explain that later. But our society is pushing a single agenda. And it's detrimental. I know people, I posted this on social media, on Instagram. A lot of people were like, it's only for Black and brown community. Why are you only speaking to the Black and brown community? Well, that's because I'm a part of that community. I'm affected by that community because I'm a part of that community. And so I'm speaking to that community, but this is a bigger issue. Okay. I hate the way that at this point in time, there's an agenda that's being pushed, and it's not for your betterment. It's not to make you better men by keeping y'all single. It's not to make women better women by keeping women single. It's to keep the powers at be to remain in power. That's my point. Because at the end of the day, y'all can feel however you want to feel. But the most married group of people are the richest group of people. The most married race is the richest race. 86% of billionaires are married. 85% of millionaires are married. So when we're listening to music that is advocating for people to remain single, and we got women that are out here, oh, we single hot girl summer, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to listen to no man. I'm not going to be submissive. I had comments where women was like, I'm not going to be, Black men say they don't want us. And y'all, this is what I'm saying to y'all. Division is happening because we are more powerful when we are together. So all of this division, all of this rhetoric, there's a reason for it. There's an agenda. And so when people are saying like, oh, why men are choosing this and the men are, no, your mentality is coming from propaganda that's causing you to think this way and then therefore conduct yourself in a way. We think we have way more power than we do, but we don't. And so I personally, I was marinating on this because I like the beginning of the year, Pam came over and we were talking about just vision boards, watching The Secret, just kind of getting our spirits together, getting our minds prepared for the next year, because I'm believing for greater and better and new chapters and things of that nature. And so I started like putting pictures together and like really understanding like different aspects of myself and things that I'm marinating what I'm thinking about, like thinking about what I'm thinking about. What am I attracting to myself? And I realized I was attracting a lot of what I was anxious about, because I spent a lot of time thinking about the what ifs and ruminating on the what ifs and why the what ifs would happen and things like that. And so in all of that happening, I started thinking about just even content that I was creating, or the content that I was creating content about was about singleness. The music that is being put out there is about singleness. Even now, you have a lot of the artists that are coming out or that are rappers, female rappers, they're not married, but they're pregnant. No shade, no disrespect. Not everybody wants to get married, I understand. But it's an agenda that's being put out to a community. And it is meant, in my opinion, I feel like there's a deeper things that are going on to keep the powers that be remain in power. And it's meant to keep our society in this dog mentality where I don't want to be with no woman. She's gonna try to take all my money. And I don't want to be with no man. He's trying to control me. He's just trying to stop my flow. It's like we got this toxic mentality that we just think that everybody's out to get us. We just do. We just have this toxic mentality. And it keeps us single, alone. And then you end up choosing somebody. And then because you believe this about the opposite sex, you end up choosing that type of person. And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And then you're mad at the world. No, you should be mad at you because you decided you were going to think certain thoughts and entertain certain thoughts. And then get mad at everybody else when you decided you were going to think these things. Women in my comments talking about they okay being single. No, you're not. You're not okay being single. Men don't want no quality women. Yes, they do. Every man want a quality woman. They just can't find one. Very hard to find when the music that we're listening to, which y'all, if you don't get nothing else from this live, music is one of the most effective mediums to convey messages to us subconsciously. Right? You can listen to music, literally go on YouTube right now and say, music that calms me down, music that wakes me up, music that gets me inspired, music that gets me to work. You can put music, and music has power. And so when you put subliminal messaging in music, whether you want the message or not, it's coming to you. And so when you don't monitor what you're listening to and you're not thinking about what you're thinking about, you can start internalizing messages without even thinking about it. So now you got a whole generation of young people, and I have young men come to me and be like, why are these girls playing games? What are they listening to? Who are their influences? Who are their influences? They don't have good influences. They're not listening to women that are up, that aren't playing games. Even if they're in solid relationships, they're acting like they not. Even if they're married, they're acting like they single. Isn't that crazy when you have married women that you know are married, presenting themselves as single in order to sell a record, in order for the machine to get behind them? It's an agenda, family. It's an agenda. There's a reason. You've got, and I'm not even just talking about women. We can talk about men. I love Usher. And listen, I'm not even, whatever. But, he's sexualized. I hope that doesn't cut me off. But he is. And he's singing music about being single. He's putting out music that he knows will get pushed by the machine. And it does. It's effective. But it's not a reflection of who he is as a person for real. He's doing what he has to do. So yeah, I'm coming on here because I think that there's a part of me, if I'm being honest with you, I was raised by a mom that was very, very independent. I don't fault her for that, because I'm glad that she is. I'm very hardworking. As I stated, I have multiple jobs. I work very, very hard. But, there's a certain aspect of especially, you know, you wanting to get married and things like that was not a desire for me like that. You know, and I think that was just the influences I had at the time. I'm being honest. You know, I think that with that being said, I'm not saying everybody should get married. That's not what I'm saying. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you guys. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, y'all. Let's not just be every once in a while. Let's become family, okay? Friends that are family, okay? Join my family today.